Welcome back to The Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into probably the fastest moving bit of tech out there. Generative AI for media.
Yeah, video, images, the works.
And, for ages it felt like there was this unspoken rule, a frustrating one. You want the speed, the power, that sort of studio level rendering. Then you basically had to trade away your privacy, your ownership.
It's the classic modern deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big tech gives you amazing tools like instantly create incredible stuff.
Right.
But there are always strings attached, they're harvesting data, the terms are murky, and they're kind of subtly monetizing what you make.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
what if? What if a platform is claiming it can just tear up that rule book?
Okay.
So our mission today is digging into this marketing report for a new site, the AI Media Generator. They're making some big claims. High performance, accessible, private, and get this, ethical.
That's a tall order.
It is.
Yeah.
So the big question we need to tackle is, can you really get that studio-grade AI rendering, but without being tracked, without your stuff being monetized behind the scenes?
Well, looking at the report, their whole reason for existing seems to be tackling those exact points. They built it on, like, 4 core pillars: privacy, openness, performance, and accessibility. Non-negotiable, they say.
Right.
And interestingly, for anyone listening who wants to, kick the tires themselves, the whole thing's running in free beta right now.
Free beta. That's aggressive.
Very. It's a strong signal to the market.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We have to start with the speed, the performance claims. How can a self-hosted platform really claim unprecedented AI inference speeds? What's under the hood?
Right. The report gets specific here. It points to the hardware foundation, really geared for raw speed, especially with these diffusion models. They're relying on the NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti. And crucially, that uses the Blackwell GPU architecture.
Blackwell, okay. That's not just any powerful card. That's a specific choice. And architecture really optimized for AI, right? What makes Blackwell the difference maker here for generating stuff?
Well, it boils down to how efficiently it handles just massive amounts of math. Blackwell's designed specifically for AI tasks.
Yeah.
It's got much better tensor cores and, importantly, built-in support for FP8 acceleration.
Okay, hang on. FP8. For listeners maybe not tracking every GPU update, why is that detail important? What does FP8 actually do for the user?
Yeah, good question. FP8 isn't just, a number on a spec sheet. It's basically the mathematical shortcut that lets Blackwell process these generative models way more efficiently than, say, older consumer cards.
How?
It reduces the amount of data needed for the calculations, but without really sacrificing the precision you need for good quality output.
I see.
So what that means for you, the user, is pretty simple. Less waiting, quicker renders, especially if you're doing complex stuff like high-res video.
Less waiting is always good. But okay, if speed and consistency are the goals, why not just use the cloud? I mean, most big platforms use shared clouds, AWS, Google Vertex, whatever. Doesn't that offer better scale, maybe more reliability than just dedicated hardware?
But that's where their core philosophy really differs from big tech. It's a key point.
How so?
When you use those shared cloud services, you're always kind of competing for processing time for cycles.
Right, peak times and all that.
Exactly. And that means inconsistent results. Your 30-second video might render in 45 seconds today, but 3 minutes tomorrow, just depending on network load or how the cloud provider is allocating resources.
Okay.
Using dedicated local hardware, like they are, just eliminates that uncertainty. Users get full, dependable control over speed and uptime. You're not subject to third-party throttling.
Are those sneaky per second charges that suddenly blow up your costs?
Precisely.
Yeah.
None of that. It's about reliability through having dedicated control.
Got it. So stability, control, direct results of that hardware choice.
Okay, let's move from the hardware itself to the software, the brains of the operation. They're pushing openness, using open source models. Which ones are they actually running? They picked 2 well-known ones, focusing on performance but also transparency. For the actual video generation, they're using Stable Video Diffusion
SVD.
from Stability AI.
That's the one. It's known for really high quality text to video and crucially good temporal coherence, meaning the motion looks smooth, natural, not all jerky, and it gives creators lots of control frame rates, resolution, duration, really good for polished short clips.
Okay, SVD for video. But often the bottleneck, the tricky part, is getting the AI to understand a creative prompt. If I throw something complex at it, like, I don't know, Bioluminescent jellyfish floating over a decaying coral reef make it look like an 18th century oil painting.
Right.
How does it handle that kind of nuance?
Yeah, translating complex human ideas is tough. That's where the second model comes in. Cerebra's Quen 3. They're using it via Hugging
On
Face.
3, what's its specialty?
It's a large language model, but it's specifically optimized for multimodal prompt understanding. Think of it as the translator.
It takes your complex natural language input, understands the nuances, the style, the mood, the objects, and turns that into precise instructions that SVD can then use to generate the visuals.
And being open weights.
Reinforces their commitment to transparency, exactly. Plus, it sort of future-proofs them, allows the community to potentially improve it over time.
Right. Okay, let's pivot now to what feels like the biggest deal here, maybe the most disruptive part. This whole privacy as a feature idea, their self-hosted architecture, that's the direct challenge to Runway, Pika, Midjourney, all of them.
This is really the core of it, yeah. The commitment to self-hosted deployment is deliberate. It's the opposite of the standard software as a service model where the provider controls everything.
And the report is clear on this.
Unequivocal. It states user prompts, the media you generate, any personal info, none of it is ever stored or shared with anyone else, period.
Okay, let's drill down on the implications. No data harvesting. If I'm a commercial creator, what does that actually mean for owning my work?
It means zero legal headaches, basically. You retain full, complete rights to the videos and images you create.
Instantly.
Instantly.
Yeah.
That means you can use it commercially, put it in your portfolio, sell it, whatever. You don't have to wade through 80 pages of terms of service, wondering if you actually own the t-shirt design you just generated.
That's huge.
It really is. The output is truly yours.
And to make this privacy real, they list specifics. No telemetry, no authentication walls, which means no login needed, and zero hidden data collection. But wait, no login. How does that even work? Doesn't that just invite bots and spammers to flood the system, especially with dedicated hardware?
That's the balancing act, right? Security versus openness.
Yeah, how do they stop abuse?
Their solution, according to the report, is integrating Google Recap TCHA.
Ah, the I'm not a robot checkbox.
Exactly. It acts as that one single gatekeeper. It stops automated bots from hammering the queue, but it does so without demanding personal data or making you create an account or track your session.
So they trade login convenience for that little bit of friction with Recap TCHA.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it aligns with their privacy and openness goals.
I imagine a lot of creators, especially those really valuing ownership, would happily make that trade. Okay, so we have the performance, the openness, the privacy. What about just using the thing? Accessibility. All this tech is great. But if it's a nightmare to interact with.
Right. Usability is key. The report emphasizes that even with the complex tech underneath, the front-end interface is designed to be sleek, modern, and accessible.
What does that look like?
They use Tailwind CSS for a fast, clean look, dark mode aesthetic, apparently, and paired it with the inner font, which is known for being really readable on screens.
Okay.
The whole idea is to make it feel less like you're operating some heavy machinery and more like you're collaborating with a creative tool.
And video rendering takes time, even fast rendering, especially if the beta gets busy. How do they handle that waiting period? Just staring at a blank screen is frustrating.
Yeah, they thought about that. Since it's a queue system, especially during beta, they built in what they call real-time dynamic progress tracking.
So you know where you stand.
Exactly. You see clear status badges. Is your job queued up? Is it processing right now? Is it done? Plus visual progress bars.
That's important, especially for professionals.
Definitely. The report mentions pros using the batch processing feature. You can queue up, say, 10 different variations, walk away, make coffee, and reliably check the status of each one without guessing.
Nice. And what about refining the prompt itself? That's often where the real work is, tweaking the description. Any help there?
Yes, they recognize that getting the prompt right is often, a back and forth process, so they included an interactive chat interface.
Like a chat bot.
Sort of.
Huh?
An embedded AI assistant you can talk to, basically, to refine your idea before you hit the generate button. It helps you clarify your creative direction conversationally.
Streamlines that whole process.
Gets you from a fuzzy idea to a precise instruction more easily.
Okay, so we've covered the 4 pillars. Performance with Blackwell, openness via SVD and Quen 3, privacy through self-hosting, and accessibility with the UX and chat. Let's zoom out. Looking at the competitive field, who really benefits most from this specific package?
You can sort of break it down into maybe 3 main groups. First, clearly, professional creators.
Why them specifically?
They get the high-resolution output they need, the guaranteed commercial rights, which is massive, and the reliability for batch jobs. That combo reliability plus ownership, it's just not really offered by the big proprietary names right now.
Right. Okay. Who else?
Well, then you've got the privacy advocates, people who are just fundamentally wary of big tech tracking.
Yeah.
They get access to a really powerful, almost studio-level AI tool, but without any personal buy-in. No login, no credit card, absolutely no tracking. It fills a significant ethical gap.
A tool you can use without feeling watched.
Exactly. And third, don't forget the developers and tinkerers.
A tech community.
Yeah. The Open Source Foundation is basically an invitation to them. The report hints at future plans like local API access, even letting users upload and run custom models, like LoRa's for specific styles.
Ah, so they're betting on the community to help build it out.
Seems like it. It's strategic. They want community innovation to push the platform forward.
That definitely sounds like building a platform, not just a one-off service. Okay, let's wrap this up. Synthesizing everything, this AI media generator feels like it's making a real statement.
I think the statement is that power and privacy don't have to be opposites. They're offering the speed that RTX 5070 Ti with Blackwell, total content ownership because it's self-hosted, no tracking.
Right.
The openness with SVD and Qwen 3 models. And they've lowered the barrier to entry completely with the free beta. No credit card needed.
So it's positioned as the ethical powerhouse alternative.
Pretty much. It's challenging the status quo head on.
And if we connect this specific platform to the bigger picture, the, macro trends, we are seeing more talk about decentralized AI, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This feels like more than just another tool. It could be an early example, maybe a pioneer, in a shift towards generative AI that's fundamentally transparent and actually owned by the user, not the provider.
A move away from data monopolies.
It suggests the creative community might be reaching maybe a tipping point, getting tired of the old trade-offs.
Which really leaves an important question for you, our listener. In this world where, let's face it, data surveillance often feels like the default, what value do you actually place on knowing that the content you generate is truly, legally 100% yours? If you had that choice. The absolute convenience of a slick, logged-in big tech system versus the maybe slightly more friction but ultimate sovereignty of a self-hosted, no-tracking model like this. Which way do you think creators will lean in the next year or so?
It's a fascinating question.
Definitely something to mull over next time you're trying to craft that perfect AI prompt.